You like that, huh, buddy? Hi guys. Can you see me clear and hear me? I want to make sure before I start talking. Clear. Thank you, Zoe. Thank you, Sue, for giving me the thumbs up. Hi, everybody. Happy Friday afternoon. I know you all recognize this beautiful face. It is time for another Albert video and another Albert plea. It is Friday afternoon and we are sitting here in his room at the animal hospital. He is just had his 3 p.m. meal and we went for a little walk, and now he's just relaxing on his throne of beds. He likes to be elevated, so we put a couple of beds on top of each other. So Albert gets what Albert wants. We tried to make him as comfortable as possible while he is stuck here in boarding, and as happy as we can while he's stuck here in boarding. This is his room. He's got a couch, door that he always is looking out that window to hopefully see somebody coming in. He's got this crib mattress, all of his beds. He's got his 2 bones to chew on. What he doesn't have is a forever loving home after 3 years, or a foster home even. And here we are again at the end of the week, and the animal hospital closes tonight at 8 p.m. opens again tomorrow at 8 a.m. and then closes at 5 p.m. and then nobody will be back until 8 in the morning. That is not gonna work for Albert for several reasons. 2 of the major reasons being, 1, that's not enough hours in the day for him to get his 4 meals a day. And he desperately needs to get those 4 meals a day. And it's not enough time, or it's too much time, for him to go without being taken out. So we are in a situation again now on Friday trying to figure out what we're going to do with Albert for the weekend. So he's coming home with me again this weekend. So he is going to get a break from here. And it's not ideal at my house because Albert is not dog friendly and needs to be the only dog in the home. And I have Cloud and my other dog Gunner, and I am fostering Tanya. So it is a juggle for me to have him in my house, but it is better than being here. So I am putting up this video to beg once again for somebody, anybody out there, to step up for Albert. He is such an easy dog in your home. He has just a few limitations, one of them being that he needs to eat every 4 hours. He's eating a certain amount of food. He's on a certain diet. I'm going to go over this again because in my last video, there was several people who either didn't have the ability to listen or didn't watch the whole video that were questioning about his weight. Yes, we know he is thin. He is under the constant supervision of the internal medicine specialist, Dr. Cannon at Lauderdale Veterinary Specialists. He has a follow-up appointment with her on Wednesday. She wanted to give him a couple of weeks to adjust to the feeding schedule and the new food and see how he was doing until she saw him back. So he is going back to her on Wednesday. When we go back to see her on Wednesday and do a checkup and a follow-up, we will discuss upping his food intake. But as of right now, he is eating half a can of wet food. and he is eating a special diet. He is eating Royal Canin Gastrointestinal High Energy. He gets half a can of wet, and then he gets half a cup of Royal Canin Gastrointestinal High Energy dry kibble that we grind up in a NutriBullet, and we mix that with the wet food in the hopes that the dry food, which is better for him, once it's grinded up, he will be able to absorb more easily. If you followed him from the beginning, you know that Albert has no small intestines, none. He's probably one of the only dogs living with what he has. So it is a constant challenge to try to tweak and figure out what is going to work for him to get him to absorb the amount of calories that he needs to. We used to feed him any and everything just to get him to eat, to try to keep weight on him. And he got sick a few weeks ago, and you guys might all remember he was at Lauderdale Veterinary Specialist. He ingested something he shouldn't have, and he just really was not feeling well. And Dr. Cannon worked with his meds and tweaked his meds and then changed him to no people food and just this diet. And then amazingly, once she did that, his poop that was like a faucet, it was like turning on a fire hose, became somewhat solidified. And it had never been that in the 3 years since he had had these surgeries. So it was definitely a step in the right direction. But with his system, we had to tweak the meds and tweak the food, and with all that comes a slow weight gain. So yes, he is very thin. We are aware that he is very thin, but we are working to get him to a higher amount of food. It has to be done very slowly because of his system. We can tell you that he's happy. He's very happy when he gets visitors, and he jumps and he gets all excited and he grins and he shows you all his pretty teeth, and he loves going for walks. He loves going for car rides. It's just unfortunately to look at him, yes, he looks very thin, and it is something that we are working on, and hopefully Dr. Cannon will tell us that we can bump up a meal or two for him, but we have to be very cautious because his system can only handle so much. So with that being said, we will have another update when we go talk to Dr. Cannon, and hopefully she'll say that we can either add something else or another supplement or up his food intake, something to try to put on some more weight. So we do know he is thin. He is eating 4 times a day. It's just a slow process. He had gotten very sick a few weeks ago and had lost a ton of weight. So it's a slow process to get the weight back on him. But now we are just desperate to find him a home. He is a great dog, as you can see. He's just relaxing. This is what he does most of the time. When he's at my house with me, if I'm sitting on the couch, he's laying right next to me, cuddling with me. If I get up to go to the kitchen to get a glass of water, he follows me into the kitchen, stands there, stares at me, wants to know what I'm doing, wants to be near me. We go back to the couch. He gets back on the couch. He curls up. He lays down like this. He's easy. He's non-destructive. He's potty trained, but that is where the flexible schedule comes in. You need to be able to take him out several times a day. You also need to be able to feed him several times a day. He must eat every 4 hours. So currently he's on a schedule of 7 a.m., 11 a.m., 3 p.m., and 7 p.m. So that is really, other than being an only pet, his only requirement is somebody that either works from home or has a flexible schedule and can come home throughout the day to ensure that he gets his meals and gets taken out. And then other than that, he is perfection. He is nothing but love. He just wants to be near his person. He just wants a comfy place to lay his head. He wants to go for car rides whenever possible because he loves being in the car, and he just loves being with his person. So I'm putting out yet another video in hopes that somebody will see Albert and realize that their home could be perfect for him. Because you never know who is going to see a video at any given time. So we ask, please, please share, because even if it's not your home that's perfect for Albert, if you share and somebody on your page shares, you might reach somebody you don't even know that their home is perfect for Albert. So we are asking to please, please share him, share his story. He has got an amazing story because this dog has got an amazing will to live. Saved from Miami-Dade Animal Services on death's door, labeled as a female. His name was Lucy. We pulled him to safety. He had to endure 10 blood transfusions and 2 emergency surgeries to save his life. And he held on. He had the will to live. And throughout it all, every time he saw a person that he knew, his tail would start wagging ferociously. He would smile. He would be such a wiggle butt because he was so happy to see his people, even when he was going through all of that. He's got such a will to live and such a love in his heart for his people. That's all he wants is his person. He lives for his person. So please, guys, I'm begging you. Please share our Albert. You sleepy boy. You sleepy. He's such a good boy and he deserves a home. 3 years he's been waiting. 3 years is way too long. He's in Fort Lauderdale. We will not transport. The adopter needs to be local. No other pets in the home. That includes cats, no dogs, no birds. He must be the only pet in the home. And he just needs somebody that's either retired or works from home or has one of those jobs, you know, you own your own company or you're a real estate agent or something like that, that you have the flexibility to come and go several times throughout the day so that you can come home to feed him when he needs to eat, which is every 4 hours, and take him out. So please, guys, let's get this sleeping angel into a bed of his very own, in a home of his very own. He's waited way too long. Way too long. I'm going to sign off now and cuddle with him. This is Tiffany with Albert in search of his forever loving home. 3 years in the making. Please share. 100+ abandoned dogs of Everglades, Florida.